Ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is? It's real late on Hot 97. My name's Peter Rosenberg, and got my man Kingpen Slim in the building.
I'm here. What's going on?
What's good? DMV is here.
DMV is here.
Where exactly in DMV are you from?
I'm from Adams Morgan.
You are from Adams Morgan.
I sure am. Columbia Road. And not too many people come from Adams Morgan.
I was about to say that's the truth. Like, people hang out in Adams Morgan.
People hang out at Adams Morgan, but people, don't really know that it's a neighborhood there and it's people there because of the stigma behind it. It's just all a party type place, but it's a neighborhood there. People
and where you're Columbia and what?
Columbia Road, Ontario Road, and Columbia.
Okay, so right in the middle of everything.
No, I'm in Adams Morgan.
Like,
now if I go across 16th Street, I'm in Columbia Heights.
Right.
But I live in Adams Morgan.
Like
I can't do no false claiming.
Still to this day, are you still there right now?
No, I don't live there anymore.
At what point did it start getting, like, sort of unbearable on Saturday night? Like, the weekends would get, like, I mean, it's got to be already, we're up 20 years probably, right?
Yeah, I would say easily the 90s. I remember it being crazy like that. Like,
okay.
Walking through the streets on maybe like a Friday night, coming from basketball practice, and there's people drunk all in the street.
Now, let's talk about that, and we're going to talk about your new project, which is coming out November 11th, and Kingpen Slim is an incredible MC.
Thank you, bro.
I first heard you, I guess the first record was the Odyssey one, but did you have a joint with Wale? Do you have a joint with
I do.
It was a Wale record
I got
also.
on a Wale record. Shout out to Wale. He was the homie. He looked out for me, got me on one of his joints, Sharp. I was on that record. Odyssey, of course, Anticipation.
Yeah, I love that record.
Yeah, that's a dope record. I still listen to that.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Yeah.
And so you have a project coming out called Life After Doubt.
Life After Doubt.
And that comes out November 11th. So we'll get into music, but I'm interested in this because, I've now been out of the D.C. area for almost a decade.
Wow.
And obviously I go home a lot, but when I go home, I'm just in Montgomery County with my parents.
No question.
I don't really go out that much.
You're not in the street like that.
Yeah,
like that.
people don't, you're home to see your family. I don't really want to go out that much. And part of that is it has changed so much, and I'm not saying that necessarily in a negative way.
It's not. It's just,
but if you're not away from it, it does. And it's funny, our friend who connected us again, even though we've known each other for this, my boy Quartermain, Quartermain's from New York and has lived in D.C. for the last 20 years. He feels the same way about New York that I feel about D.C.
Wow.
Which is that it changed so much that the place that you used to really consider home...
It's not that place anymore.
Exactly. And you feel a little bit uncomfortable going out only because you're like, I don't know what each block brings anymore.
I'm telling you.
Like, I don't know where to go. I don't... Like, when I go to D.C. now, we were... Last time I was home, I was with him, and we pulled up at a spot, and like we're just sitting in a car waiting for someone in a spot that you would never be comfortable just sitting in a car waiting for someone. You'd be like, let's keep moving. We ain't gonna just post up right here.
It's what it is now. Like, everybody's on top of each other. It's a lot more togetherness. Then again, it's a lot of separation as well. So what you see a lot of times, you came in the era of the separation of the city.
Right.
And
you're from a place that got sort of the first and worst gentrification. And by that I mean is it happened early, and you're not talking about like, the friendly, really well put together gay neighbors who moved in. You're talking about the drunken, annoying, sort of privileged, just
coked up.
So what was that experience like? Was there resentment in the neighborhood?
Absolutely. The neighborhood is one of those dichotomies where you got, literally, by the way, $1 million house across the street from the projects.
Right.
$1 million houses. So we saw that early. I think the gentrification, like you said, hit us right away. So we saw that as kids. We had Adams Morgan and Mount Pleasant riots. I saw that as a young kid as well.
Wow.
So it's just a lot. Like you said, the neighborhood is the first. I don't know. Maybe I don't know the whole exact history of the city before my time, but I would say that 18th Street corridor is probably like one of the first strips of clubs in the city.
Yes, it's been popping now it has been like one of the spots to go to, since the mid-90s.
Absolutely. And
that's a long time.
That's my backyard. You know what I mean? So we.
Your parents still there?
My parents are not there. My parents are West Indian. So my mother came from Kingston, Jamaica. My father came from a small country called St. Kitts.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're from a West Indian family, they move a lot.
And where did they go?
My dad is in Philly now. Shout out to Pops. That's my best friend. My mother is in Clearwater, Florida.
Okay. Well, so they are not together.
No. They had me and was like deuces.
I figured out based on
they had me. They just got together to create me, and I think that was the whole purpose.
There you go. Well, guess what? They did that perfectly.
Oh, thank you, man.
So you have the project coming right now. I'm gonna play a song in just a minute, but
definitely.
What could people expect from this? Where does Kingpen Slim fit into the DMV movement right now?
Well, I stand out, and I know it's easy for everybody to say that. So let me just say the right words of what I'm saying. It's a lot going on at home. A lot of music, a lot of dope music.
Yeah.
But it ain't no music like the music that I'm making right now from a palette standpoint. You understand what I'm saying? We well represented with the trap, if you will.
Sure.
We're well represented with the, I don't want to say hipster because I don't know if that's like a derogatory term to them, but that style. We're not really well represented in terms of somebody who's just more of spitting the bars, if you will. Somebody who you would kind of lump in with Fab or Pusha T, or those type of artists. Dave East.
Gotcha.
And
that's where you would find yourself.
That's where I reside.
Right. That's where
I reside.
Well, that's a place that's very neat. It's a place that DC has kind of long struggled with too.
You understand me? You feel me? So I really went for a lane that nobody was in, and that's the whole purpose of the tape.
And by the way, I don't think it's insult. I don't think the hipster part's insulting because I would be the first person to say that arguably my favorite artist, Odyssey, fits in the hipster category.
Absolutely.
By nature, it's like that's who's aware of him.
He's super dope.
And he's incredible.
Yeah.
But that's the people who tend to be aware of him are more hipster types who listen to NPR and pay attention to certain things, and that's where you find him.
And that's where he got his success at, and so that's where he's at.
Exactly. Now, do I sometimes hope that he reaches other places? Yes, but he doesn't seem to give a shit. So
he does not care.
He really, he is
Talk
really.
to him. He
his
does
life,
not give a fuck. He's good.
His life is good.
So
I always want him to become the world's biggest
He's good
star,
off rap.
but he's good at rap.
Yeah.
He lives off of it.
He lives off rap,
and he's doing just fine. Who else is out there in the DMV that you fuck with right now? Anyone that you're like, whoa, I pay attention to this person. They're tight.
Let's see. I like JIDK.
I mean, let's take a second here.
Yeah, let's really think about it.
Because that JIDK album is fucking crazy.
I think JIDK is pushing the culture forward
I really have struggled because I don't like to say this because it sounds insane.
Sure.
But if you have not heard the JIDK Empty Bank album, it will be the thing that more than anything else, when you're like, when am I going to get more stuff like Kendrick Lamar? I think JIDK is the number one thing, maybe besides Anderson .Paak, that I feel like culturally will remind you of what Kendrick Lamar is doing.
JIDK, I like him because he cares. You know what I mean? Like, you can listen to some artists and you can hear the passion in it. You could tell, the whole album, he put a lot into it. And I don't want to just talk about him the whole time. Shout out to my man, though. But he's super dope. But
I know you're right. He put in a lot of shit there, and he got a great project.
And it's phenomenal. And the first project was dope too.
So who else? Anyone else out there besides
I got
Jay?
Lambo and Low. He rolls with me.
Okay.
Super dope. Right now he got a few labels looking at him.
And where's he from? Where's Lambo?
Cap Heights, Maryland.
Okay.
Lambo and Low. Who else am I checking?
Tight name, Lambo and Low
is a tight name.
Lambo and Low's a very tight name.
I like Ras Nebu. He's the homie. Shout out to him and the Slizzards. I'm trying to think who else am I checking for. Big Flock. Big Flock got a real big buzz right now on the trap side. He got a record out with 21 Savage that's doing real well. Shout out to him. Free Flock.
Is he in jail?
He's in jail.
Shit.
Right when it's taking off for him.
I was about to say, it's always annoying when I hear of someone for the first time and it's followed by free them. I'm like, you know what? That's always disconcerting. Well, I want to hear his music though.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's so many dudes. I know I'm forgetting some of them, and I apologize to me. I wasn't prepared to come up here and talk about other people for sure. But shout out to everybody.
No, I have to though, because when I get DC people up here, I always want to know not only where they fit in, where their music fits in, but what they think of the rest of the scene.
No, it's a beautiful thing. I'm just saying I wasn't prepared.
No.
You know what I mean?
You don't have to have a list of shout outs. People won't be offended.
You know how it is.
Yeah, of course.
You ain't show me out on
No. When people hit me and they'll say, "Who are your
10 diss
favorites?"
records coming my way.
When they say, "What's your favorite music right now?" I can't come up with anything. I'm like, and I do a show every week, and I still can't ever think of.
Isn't that scary for you though, with the voice that you have? Like somebody asking your favorite, and then you give your honest opinion. Don't you make your other rapper friends? Because rappers are sensitive.
Well, it's funny. Like Jay in particular, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Jay, I've gone to bat for pretty hard recently.
Absolutely.
And I'm personally connected to him because my brother put me onto him. So like, and I'm very transparent about if I'm connected to someone in any way. But then my brother was always kind of pushing him on me, like check him out, check him out, check him out, check him out, check him out. Not forcing, but giving me a good push.
Absolutely.
And I was like, I'll get to it. I'm gonna get to it. And then I had a flight one day, and it was the week his album came out, and I put it on. I hit my brother. I was like, "Yo, my bad, bro. I was
asleep.
I was kind of sleeping because you know him, and I was like, not. I was giving him the like, sure, I'll give him a shot, but it was kind of more like just showing love as opposed. So then, yes, there is a feeling of when you really jump out the window for someone, will other people feel away? But the thing is, I go through cycles. So right now, I'm having one where he's been someone I've been really checking for. And it just kind of goes in ebbs and flows.
Absolutely.
And there's so many at this point over the years that you just hope you're diverse with it and you continue to choose. Like right now I play some really lyrical people, and then I have some people that I play that are more trappy. Like I love Yachty.
I pay attention to what you like.
Okay, yeah. So
you know what I mean? Because for home, you like a beacon of light for us. Really. That's real. You know what I mean?
Very, very
I'm not being facetious.
Well, I'm very proud of that. They included one of the newspapers at home did a time capsule of the DC hip hop story.
Right.
And they included me getting on the air in the thing, like the cycle of things that have ever happened in DC hip hop. And I was very touched by it.
Because the thing about you with your platform, you've always DMV. I've never not heard you.
No, I'm always trying. I mean, listen, I'm sure there's some people who think I'm a dick because I don't come out or something.
Hey, man.
All you got to do is hit me, and I'll find. Usually, anyone who has any buzz in DC, if they reach out,
it comes to you.
If they reach out, they will get on. Like that, I haven't had everyone on. Like I haven't had Glizzy on here yet. We're cool, but I haven't had Glizzy on here yet.
No question.
But like the door's always open.
Absolutely.
It's just a matter of whether people knock on the door.
That's it.
And then some people knock on the door is bullshit. Yeah. How the name Kingpen Slim come to be?
When I was first starting out, I wanted to be Kingpen Slim, and a homie of mine was like, it's kind of limited. You kind of limited yourself because when you think of a kingpin, you automatically think of like drugs and that whole thing, won't you?
You're like, yeah, but it sounds so cool.
It did. It sounded really cool. But he was like, he gave me an alternative, and he was like, man, you're a writer because I'm a writer. So why don't you change it to the I to the E and made it a little bit more user friendly, if you will.
So you said you thought that made sense.
It made sense. You know what I mean? Because I'm known for like, the writing style or the bars or the lyrics, if you will. So it matches.
And on this album that comes out the 11th, Life After Death, did you put any other DMV people on?
I didn't. I wanted to hog it this time.
Okay.
I got Just Paul on a hook, and I got Rock Mikey from UCB. UCB. He's on a hook as well, and that's it. No rap features. I rapped every song. I wanted to do that.
How much is there a crossover right now between the hip hop and go-go scenes in DC? None at all, really.
None. No. None. I don't see the connection that I think probably should have happened, and I think they tried to do. They being Wale. I think they tried that. And, I don't really see it right now.
Do you think Wale seemed to have pushed it as far as one could hope for?
I think he did what he could do. I'm definitely not taking no shots at him.
Right.
I just don't see it still being alive in some of the newer artists that are coming out. That's
Got it. Wale
cares. You know what I'm saying? He
tried.
He grew up in a time when go-go mattered. You know what I mean? And then I think now.
I mean, yeah, he toured with them, put them on records.
What else could you do?
Man, I got to tell you, I've recently started to think that, for better or for worse, go-go being just DC music, it just is what it is.
No, that is what it is.
There's no
disrespect to the go-go community. Please don't beef with me, but it was a time when I think go-go had an opportunity to be for the world, and it just didn't happen. And there's a lot of music like that in these different towns.
Exactly. I was going to say, and if it did end up being that, everyone would have hated whatever version of go-go that was.
Let me tell you something about DC. DC DMV. We want what's ours to be what's ours. We don't really want to share it. Like when we start sharing it, we tend to not like it as much.
Exactly, and everyone does that. I'm the worst example of it. But if you, for example, let's say whichever version time go-go had a chance to go mainstream, it had done it with some record, whatever record it was that took it totally mainstream. everyone from DC would have considered it shit.
Absolutely.
And thought, why was this the record that happened?
Absolutely.
This record's stupid.
You feel me?
And so
this is not the real.
No, exactly. So ultimately, it's there's a sad part about financially, people not being able to benefit as much as you would like them to off their music.
That sucks.
But then there's a beautiful part of it being a real culture.
I think a lot of go-go musicians, and I can't obviously sit up here and count another man's pockets, but they running around the town doing shows. They're eating. They are making money. Course. They are functioning artists. And that's what you want as an artist. You want to be able to make money off.
Right, and it may not be that they're millionaires, but that's a different ballgame.
That's a different ball. How many millionaires is off rap?
Exactly. It's a limited number.
Limited.
More than go-go, but
a lot more than go-go. But a lot of people rapping about millions probably don't have them.
No, probably
you
not.
know that.
So, someone like you, a rapper at your level, financially, in terms of what you're able to do and able to sell, how does one move about and make their career work between projects?
I think right now, my focus is a lot on merchandising and doing the shows. So I want to just get the music out to the people. I think I can make. I don't want to put a number out there. I'll whisper in your ear, but I think I could make 6 figures off the project.
Right, and that's what you look at it as is like, you're gonna put out the body work I want to put out.
Absolutely.
And if done the right way,
that matters to me. I never wanted to be, and it's easy for people to say this, but I don't want to lose myself to this shit. You know what I mean? I don't want to be somebody else to have success if somebody else is not successful.
I'll put you the same question that I kind of put to Odyssey. When I always ask him about where he sees it going, does he want to be a mainstream star? How much do you care about stuff like that when it comes to your music?
I care. You know what I mean? I'm not one of those that don't care. I'm not one of those rappers that's gonna get up here and be like, I'm not a rapper. I hate when people do that, by the way.
Yeah, I don't understand. I've never understood
That's so disrespectful.
Never understood it.
What you to the culture? We all doing our whole. You got up there and say you're not a rapper. It's not cool to be a rapper. They made it so it's corny. It's y'all that's doing that. Stop that. Don't get on this mic and say you're not a rapper if you rapping. That's my pet peeve.
No, and by the way, I'm not saying that you can't be a rapper and a rock star.
That's it.
Those things go together. Many rappers are rock stars.
Absolutely.
But when people are like, nah, I'm a rock star, I'm not a rapper.
Just pay homage to the culture. You know what I mean? You rap, you write raps, you rap. But
a lot of people worked really hard and didn't get paid a lot of money to set you up in a position so you're able to do it.
You know what I'm saying? You got there and
I'm not a rapper. Don't you dare call me a rapper.
I just started rapping last night, and you got your first album as a classic. Stop the lies, man. You know what I mean? It takes 10,000 hours of practice to get to that point. You're a rapper.
Is it too much for me to say that you get into a position because of black music, and then when you're in that position, you don't want to be considered the black music. You want to use the word that's considered. Let's be real, because whether it's accurate or not, when people say rock music, they associate white. So you want to say that you do rock music.
Why?
Why do you do that? Why? And when people picture rapper, guess what they picture? Black.
That's what it is.
So now you get up there and you're like, I'm not. It's so funny. All people wanted to be, all fucking Eminem, his whole dream in life was I just want to be a rapper.
Be like us.
Please accept me as a rapper.
And we get up there and want to be like them.
It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense at all. No, but where I see myself, I definitely want the mainstream success. But I think
why do you crave that? You just want people to hear your music.
I don't crave it. I that's what I crave. Recognition for an artist is air. It's food for an artist.
Right.
They need that. Everybody needs fans, and you need the adoration and the adulation. You hear somebody at Drake, he's the biggest point, the biggest artist. And
for sure.
A lot of the things that he talks about is being slighted by a woman. I mean, dude, you got 1 million women that probably love you, but you still thinking about this one from 9 years ago? That's how artists are.
About
they
everything.
Want all the love.
I know.
They're real selfish with it. And I'm not necessarily that selfish, but I do want the love.
No, listen, I appreciate your honesty about that.
Absolutely.
And I understand it. His name is Kingpen Slim.
Definitely.
His album, Life After Doubt.
KingpenSlim.com. Follow me. I'm out here. Y'all gonna get it. We're gonna do a lot of
He's from the DC area.
Definitely.
We've talked about it all. He's traveled incredibly deep to New York.
My guys wanted to come up here because, like I said, it's a big deal for us to come check you. You know what I mean?
That's very cool.
It's like, it's like me going in the White House. You see what I mean? I got a picture with Barry O. You know, one thing I do want to say, life after doubt, just so y'all can understand the inspiration behind it. Everybody goes through doubts as adults, kids, older people, whatever. And doubt is one of the most crippling emotions that you can have. And it's going to hold you back from any form of success that you may really see in your brain. You got to let that go. So life after doubt is about me letting it go, moving on from it. Like, let me do the rap that I want to do. You know what I mean? Because for a while, before Dave East came back out, I hadn't seen a new rapper get successful
rapping,
that
right.
was rapping. He's the first one I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
5 years. Think about it now.
The post TDE run,
After
I guess.
TDE and J. Cole, he was the last one that came through with that was just like rapping.
Straight
He's not
rapping.
singing on his hooks and, you know, doing auto-tune and stuff like that. So for a while, as an artist, and you know you in that lane, that you like, damn, I don't really see
Is
the
there a place
success
for me?
stories.
Right.
Is there a place for me in this game? You know, so I went through a period of experimenting with the auto-tune, and none of it was catching because it wasn't me. You know, so I had to get back to doing me. And my inspiration for it was Reasonable Doubt and Life After Death. Life After Death, Reasonable Doubt, Life After Doubt. I know that's lofty, but that's what my inspiration.
I like how it all came together, and I like that you
Absolutely.
didn't start with that. I like the doubt conversation first leading into that. Kingpen Slim, good seeing you, bro.
Thank you, brother. Thanks for having me.
DMV, what up?
DMV, let's go.